የአምስተኛው ምዕራፍ የገጠር የልማታዊ ሴፍቲኔት ፕሮግራም መክፈቻ ላይ ለመገኘት በመምጣታችሁ እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ እላለሁ። የመጀመሪያው ተናጋሪያችን የመክፈቻ ንግግር ያደርጉልን ክቡራቱ አህመድ ሺዲ የገንዘብ ሚኒስትር
Thank you, Moderator. Your Excellency Ato Omar Hussein, Minister of Agriculture of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Excellencies, Ministers, State Ministers, and all government officials from the regions, Excellencies, members of Agricultural Parliamentary Standing Committee members, Ms. Sabrina Bazanella, Head of Social Protection and Migration at the EU Delegation, representing in EU, which also represent all development partners, Ethiopia's current PSMP donor chair, respected development partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here at the launching ceremony of the fifth phase of the Productive Safety Net program, named Strengthen Ethiopia's Adaptive Safety Net Project, CEASN. As you all know, the PSMP program was started in response to the shortcoming of emergency food aid, which, while this saved lives, is often failed to protect livelihood. As a result, the Ethiopian government revised its emergency food aid system in 2005 and launched the Productive Safety Net program to introduce a more productive approach to providing a safety net to vulnerable segments of the population. Since the Ethiopian government stepped up its effort to address both relief and development with harmonized donor support to build Ethiopia's capacity to improve household food consumption, protect livelihoods, and develop assets along with services both in rural and urban areas. PSMP is one of Ethiopia's flagship programs and represents a significant transformation in our social protection strategy. The program helped to move away from responding to chronic hunger through emergency appeals to a proactive response with predictable resources. It aims to better respond to the needs of food insecure households and create productive investment in supporting rural economic growth and environmental rehabilitation. Also, PSMP has supported the country's effort to reduce extreme poverty and achieve shared prosperity through investments in pro-poor sectors. Despite multifaceted shocks, the program has made significant progress in reducing food insecurity, malnutrition, and vulnerability. The PSMP benefited from a strong partnership with our development partners, including the World Bank, Austrian government, Danish International Development Agency, European Union, Global Affairs Canada, FCDO, formerly DFID, Ireland government, the Netherlands government, United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, USAID, and WFP, who have committed a substantial amount of resources to support the program. Our partners have pooled their financing and agreed to provide a unified pool of technical advice and analytical work, which is really commendable. Since the start of the Rural Safety Net program in 2005, a total of 83.93 billion Ethiopian birr has been committed and utilized, and the government of Ethiopia has covered more than 16% of the overall program cost. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Member of Parliament, Phase 5 of the program that we are launching today is built on key lessons and experiences from the previous phase of the program. Based on these lessons, this phase of the project has expanded geographic coverage and introduced new project dimensions that ensure enhanced service delivery to improve the well-being of poor and vulnerable households in drought-prone communities. We also commend the flexible design that allows for prompt and effective response in emergencies. The fifth phase of the PSMP project will have three core result areas. One, to deliver safety-net operations for core program beneficiaries through public works as well as permanent and temporary direct income support to the most vulnerable segment of population. Second, to reach additional drought-prone warriors by expanding the geographic coverage of the program. Third, to modernize the program governance systems and capacity development to ensure effective and efficient management for maximum delivery. To deliver these key planned results, a total of USD 2.3 billion is allocated for the project over the coming 5 years, mobilized from our development partners and government of Ethiopia's resources. We appreciate all our development partners present here for committing resources to support the government. I would also like to call on other development partners who are considering joining this program to filling the current financing gap of around 10%. Distinguished guests, we are determined to continue leveraging the fruitful experience from the program such as labor-intensive public works to create more jobs, increase the productivity of natural resource base, improve social infrastructure, and complementary livelihood services for client households. I am also delighted to see that women participation as a labor force, who are the ones who bear the primary responsibility for the care of young children, will remain at the core and the heart of the program. As we continue to face the additional burden of COVID-19 pandemic, it remains of paramount importance that we join hands to ensure that through this and other projects we can meet the challenges. It is important to ensure the recent gains in poverty reduction that are not, which shouldn't be lost, and that long-term development impact are supported through expanded job creation and transformational structural reform alongside the homegrown economic reform program. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that as we continue to work on our economic reform program, we will strengthen our capacity for more job creation and transition into a stable and sustainable macroeconomy that will be able to meet the needs of the Ethiopian people. This will put us on a path to graduating large-scale communities from PSMP project as their livelihoods are improved. Before I close my remark, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our development partners' continued support to improve Ethiopia's shock responsiveness and resilient capacity through this program. Particularly in the context of Corona, these types of programs are extremely very helpful. I would also like to recognize the Ministry of Agriculture and our other sector ministries for successfully implementing the previous phase of the program and leading the design of this phase launched today, and most importantly, the regional government for their active role in delivering the broader executive role. And the Ministry of Social Protection is also playing a very important role. I would also like to reiterate my government commitment to take the leading role in the program implementation and further build affordable, sustainable, and inclusive social protection system. I thank you all.
Now I will call upon Ms. Sabrina Badanella, who is the head of social protection and migration at the EU delegation, to speak on behalf of the ambassador.
And welcome, and quantum to all those physically here and also to those who are joining us online. As it was said, my name is Sabrina Badanella. I was also given an Ethiopian name, Tigist, and I am pleased to deliver some remarks for this important event on behalf of my ambassador, His Excellency Johan Borgstam, and also on behalf of all development partners that support the Rural Productive Safety Net program. This launch event is marking a crucial milestone, and you will understand it in a few minutes. His Excellency the Minister has already highlighted some of the achievements and some of the highlights of the new program, but allow me to go through some more of them. So first of all, allow me to congratulate the federal and regional teams that have been engaged in a robust, consultative, and evidence-based design of the 5th phase of the program throughout last year. Please, let's give them a big clap. I'm sure you all know that the Rural Productive Safety Net program is amongst the government of Ethiopia's top development programs, contributing directly to poverty reduction, climate change adaptation, and livelihoods improvements. We've heard it from His Excellency the Minister, we've seen it also in the video. So just to recap some of the achievements, so during the last 15 years, the program has transitioned from a project aimed at creating a more predictable safety net to a national program that contributes to multiple development policies of the country, including, for example, the disaster risk management policy, the social protection policy, the national food and nutrition policy, and the climate resilient green economy. PSMP also contributes to 12 of the Sustainable Development Goals for the 2030 Agenda. So as we close the 4th phase of the program and launch the 5th phase of the same program here today, allow me to take a moment really to acknowledge some of the important achievements made during the last 5 years of this program, which is among the largest safety nets in Africa. So between 2015 and 2020, Government of Ethiopia financial contribution to the PSMP increased from 3% to 27%, demonstrating how firmly it is embedded in the country's development priorities. A big clap again. In addition to the 8 million people supported on a regular basis, approximately 14 million clients, both PSNP and non-PSNP, were provided additional support to cope with the impact of drought, demonstrating how it is possible to scale up interventions to respond to shocks promptly, effectively, and efficiently. Furthermore, during the last phase, PSMP reached close to 2 million Ethiopians with financial literacy support, while close to 1 million were supported with skills training. This is a very important achievement, I think, as well. Its contribution to a saving culture, mobilizing savings, and better access to finance was also very significant. Substantial contribution to climate change adaptation was also made by the program and will do so also in the future phase. More than 1.7 million hectares of land were covered through various biophysical, soil and water conservation, as well as rangeland management technologies during PSMP4. The productive aspect of the program through the public works component has also contributed to human capital objectives through the construction of a multitude of community infrastructures, such as health posts, farming training centers, and schools. Over the past decade, also rigorous evaluations have shown Ethiopia's productive safety net program yielding positive results in addressing household poverty and food insecurity in the communities it targets. So, since a year now, we have all been experiencing the restrictions and the effects of the COVID pandemic, and once more, the importance of this program in cushioning poor households from shocks has been evident and amplified throughout the pandemic. A recent independent study shows that the PSMP protected household from food security in rural areas during the pandemic and prevented virtually all adverse pandemic-related impacts for participating households. So I think this is really a very great achievement also made in addition to the ones I also mentioned. I'm sorry I've been a bit long, but I really wanted to highlight the achievements made in the past on which the future program is also partly built. It is built also on lessons learned and from the past experiences. For example, the new PSMP 5 will have a better focus on extreme poverty and vulnerability. It will have improved provisions on gender and social risk management. It will have better linkages between public works and livelihoods. And furthermore, it will also provide higher quality and value livelihood support to fewer and better targeted clients. It will introduce the operationalization of shock-responsive safety net under the management of a single institution. It will start using also a new designed management information system, an integrated household registry, and it will have an enhanced focus on facilitating linkages to social services for PSMP clients. So given its achievements, the strength of the design of the new phase, and the contributions that the program will make to the development objectives of the Ethiopian government, the European Union and all other development partners are proud to be supporting the fifth phase of this program. Allow me to name briefly the partners that will join us in this new adventure. The Danish International Development Agency, the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, of course the European Union, Embassy of Ireland, the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Embassy of Sweden, UNICEF, the World Food Programme, the United Agency for International Development, and the United States, Agency for International Development, and the World Bank. As said earlier, we remain committed to the government and to the people of Ethiopia to support this program and achieve its goals for the benefit of the most vulnerable communities of Ethiopia. Congratulations once again.
Next speaker, His Excellency Ato Umar Hussein, Minister of Agriculture, will deliver his keynote remark. Thank you.
በሀገራችን በተለይም በገጠሩ የሀገራችን ክፍሎች በተለያየ ምክንያቶች በተደጋጋሚ የሚከሰተው ስር የሰደደ የግብርና የምግብ ዋስትና ችግር ቀጣይነት ባለው መልኩ ለመቅረፍና የችግሩ ተጠቂ የሆነውን ህብረተሰብ ክፍል በዘላቂነት የምግብ ዋስትናውን ማረጋገጥ እንዲቻል የምግብ ዋስትና ፕሮግራም ተቀርጾ ላለፉት 15 ዓመታት ተግባራዊ ሲደረግ ቆይቷል። ፕሮግራሙ በቤተሰብ ደረጃ የምግብ ዋስትናን ከማረጋገጥ አንፃር ሁለት ዋና ዓላማዎችን ያነገበ ነው። አንዱ የምግብ ክፍተትን በመሙላት የቤተሰብ ጥሪት እንዳይሟጠጥ መከላከል ሲሆን፣ ሁለተኛው የቤተሰብና የማህበረሰብ ጥሪትን በመገንባት የተጠቃሚዎችን የአደጋን የመቋቋም አቅማቸውን እንዲጎለብት ማድረግ ነው። በመሆኑም በዚህ ስራ እስካሁን በተደረገው በዚህ በአራቱ ዙር ማለት ነው በርካታ አበረታች የሆኑ ተግባራት መከናወን ችሏል። ቅድምም በተናገሩት ሰዎች እንደተገለጸው አንደኛው የአደጋ ተጋላጭነትን መቀነስ፣ የተለያዩ የአፈር ውሃ ጥበቃ ስራዎችን፣ ውሃ የማሰባሰብ፣ የተራቆቱ መሬቶችን መልሶ እንዲያገግሙ ማድረግና ለልማት እንዲውሉ ማስቻል፣ እንዲሁም ቤተሰብ ውስጥ የስርዓተ ምግብ ሁኔታ እንዲሻሻል አድርገዋል። በተጨማሪም የሰው ጉልበት በስፋት በመጠቀም በማህበረሰብ ስራ ተሳትፎ የሚገነቡት መንገዶች፣ የጤና ኬላዎችና የትምህርት ቤቶች ማስፋፊያ ግንባታዎች፣ የአካባቢውን ሕዝብ የተሻለ የኢኮኖሚና ማህበራዊ አገልግሎት ተጠቃሚ እንዲሆኑ በማስቻል የበኩሉን አስተዋጽኦ አበርክቷል። በፈረንጆቹ አቆጣጠር በ2018 በተደረገ የፕሮግራሙ የአስተዋጽኦ ግምገማ ውጤቶች ኢምፓክት አሴስመንት ፋይንዲንግስ አገራዊ የድህነት መጠንን በ2 በመቶ በመቀነስ ቀጥተኛ አስተዋጽኦ እንደነበረው ተመላክተዋል። ቆላማው የሀገራችን አካባቢ የምግብ ክፍተትን በአማካይ በ1.1 ወራት የቀነሰ ሲሆን በደጋ አካባቢ ደግሞ በአማካይ በ0.5 ወራት የምግብ ክፍተትን ቀንሷል። በተጨማሪም የተሻለ የአፈርና ውሃ ጥበቃ ስራ በተሰራባቸው አካባቢዎች የሰብል ምርት በአማካይ በ2.5 በመቶ እንዲጨምር አስተዋጽኦ ነበረው። እንዳጠቃላይ ፕሮግራሙ ከተጀመረበት ጊዜ አንስቶ ከ3.9 ሚሊዮን በላይ ፕሮግራሙ ተጠቃሚዎች በምግብ ራሳቸውን ችለው ሊመረቁ ችለዋል። እነዚህና ሌሎች በርካታ አበረታች ውጤቶች የተገኙ ቢሆንም የተወሰኑ ተግዳሮቶች በስራው አፈጻጸም ውስጥ መታየታቸው አልቀረም። ለአብነት ለመጥቀስ በአንዳንድ ቦታዎች የፕሮግራሙ የልየታ አሰራር በጣም በዝቅተኛ የኑሮ ደረጃ ወይንም የድሃ የምንለው ላይ ያሉ ቤተሰቦችን በአግባቡ ያካተተ ያለመሆን፣ ሁለተኛ የገጠር ልማታዊ ሴፍቲኔት ፕሮግራም እና የዕለት ደራሽ የምግብ እህል አቅርቦት አሰራርን አንድ ወጥ በሆነ አደረጃጀት ለመምራት የተሰጠው አቅጣጫ በተፈለገው ደረጃ ተሟልቶ ወደ ስራ አለመገባቱ፣ ለፕሮግራሙ ተጠቃሚዎች መቅረብ የሚገባው ሀብት ገንዘብም ይሁን ምግብ መዘግየትና የሚቀርበው ሀብት የምግብ ክፍተታቸውን ለመሙላት አንዳንድ ቦታዎች ላይ በቂ ያለመሆን፣ ለልማት ሊውሉ የሚችሉ ስራው ከተሰራ በኋላ ያገገሙ የተፈጥሮ ሀብቶችን ወደ ልማት ለማስገባት የተሰጠው ትኩረትም ሁሉ ጋር ባይሆን እንኳን አነስተኛ መሆን እና የቤተሰብ ኑሮ ማሻሻያ ስራ ዘርፍ የፕሮግራም ተጠቃሚዎች በተለያዩ የገቢ ማስገኛ ስራዎች ላይ በመሳተፍ ተጨማሪ ገቢና ጥሪት በመፍጠር ከፕሮግራሙ እንዲመረቁ ከማድረግ አንጻር በተፈለገው ደረጃ ያለመከናወኑ ታይቷል። በአምስተኛው ምዕራፍ የገጠር ልማት ሴፍቲኔት ፕሮግራም ቀረጻ በመንግስት መሪነት በፌዴራል እና በክልል ደረጃ የሚገኙ ባለድርሻ አካላትን እና ፕሮግራሙን ለመደገፍ ፍላጎት ያሳዩ ለጋሽ ድርጅቶችን በከፍተኛ ደረጃ በማሳተፍና ግብዓቶችን በማሰባሰብ ከ1 ዓመት ለበለጠ ጊዜ ሲሰራ ቆይቶ ደረጃቸውን የጠበቁና የነበሩትን ስህተቶች ሊያርሙ የሚችሉ ሰነዶች እንዲዘጋጁ ተደርገዋል። በዚሁ መሰረት በዚህኛው ፕሮግራም የተሻለ አፈጻጸም ለማስመዝገብ እንዲቻል የሚከተሉት አሰራሮች እንዲካተቱ ተደርገዋል። አንደኛ፣ የፕሮግራሙ ተጠቃሚዎች ልየታ የድሃ ቤተሰቦች እና ለከፍተኛ አደጋ ተጋላጭ የሆኑ ዜጎች ላይ እንዲያተኩር። ሁለተኛ፣ ይሄን አሰራር ደግሞ ለመቆጣጠር የሚረዳ ቅድም እንደተጠቀሰው የማኔጅመንት ኢንፎርሜሽን ሲስተም በመገንባት አንድ ወጥ የሆነ ዘመናዊ አሰራር እንዲጎለብት፣ ይሄንን በስራው ውስጥ ድርሻ ያላቸው አካላት በሙሉ ተናበው ከአንድ ማዕከል ሊያዩ የሚችሉበት ስርዓት አብሮ እንዲኖር ተደርገዋል። ሶስተኛ፣ የማህበረሰብ የልማት ስራዎችና የቤተሰብ ኑሮ ማሻሻያ ስራዎች ተቀናጅተው እንዲተገበሩ በማድረግ የፕሮግራሙ ተጠቃሚዎች ከሁለት የስራ ዘርፎች ተጠቃሚ በመሆን በቤተሰብ ደረጃ ኑሯቸውን በማሻሻል እና ተጨማሪ ጥሪት በመፍጠር ከፕሮግራሙ እንዲመረቁ፣ ይሄ ስትሪክትሊ የሚሰራ ስራ እንዲሆን ተደርጓል። ሌላው የግልጽነትና ተጠያቂነት መንፈስ ማምጣት እንዲቻል ውጤት ላይ የተመሰረተ ፕሮግራም አፈጻጸም ምዘና ተግባራዊ የሚሆንበት እንዲሆን ተደርጓል ማለት ነው። እነኚህ በፊት የነበሩ ኮምፖነንት ቢኖራቸው በዚህኛው ፕሮግራም በጣም ጥብቅ በሆነና በቴክኖሎጂ በተደገፈ የሚሰራ እንደሆነ እንዲታወቅ ነው። በመጨረሻ በዚህ የአምስተኛው ምዕራፍ የገጠር ልማት ሴፍቲኔት ፕሮግራም ለማሳካት በየደረጃው ያለን አመራሮች፣ ለጋሽ ድርጅቶችና ፈጻሚ አካላት በቅንጅት በመስራት ፕሮግራሙ የታለመለትን ግብ መምታት እንዲችል በቁርጠኝነት እንድንሰራ ከአደራ ጭምር እጠይቃለሁ። በዚህ ስራ ውስጥ በሙያችሁ አመራር በመስጠት እንዲሁም በዚህ አስቸጋሪ ጊዜ ከጎናችን ለቆማችሁ ለጋሾች በሚኒስቴር መስሪያ ቤትና በተጠቃሚ ህብረተሰብ ስም ከፍ ያለ ምስጋና አቀርባለሁ። አመሰግናለሁ።
ከዛው መቀያየር አይደለም እንግዲህ ፕሮቶኮሉን እሺ እዛው ነው ማሽ ይቀጥላል። በቃ ታንኪዩ እናመሰግናለን። ታንኪዩ ታንኪዩ። መንግስታት መካከል የሚደረገው This ceremony is the signature and memorandum of understanding, signing the memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Finance and the regional governments. I call the first four, because there is not enough space, they will sign and then